Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creative Team Career on the 2013 mod. We are here with Mercedes. It is round 5 of our first season. We are heading to Spain. Hello again. So here we are. Ready for the Spanish Grand Prix. We've got our usual lineup of Jensen and Schumacher. A very interesting, very enigmatic lineup, I think. Hopefully we're going to be in for a good result today. I do believe we actually have some upgrades on the car. It's been a little while, been a week since we were last on this file. So let's take a quick gander in the warehouse. Let's see. So we've got our Mark II chassis, still on the Mark 1 there. We're on Mark II rear wings, Mark II side pods, still on the original underfloor, and on the Mark II suspension as well. So we've got plenty of spare parts as well, as you can see. 4 parts across the board, which is nice. We do have more parts about to drop as well. Once this Grand Prix is done, we'll have a new chassis, a Mark III. We'll also get our Mark II underfloor and a Mark III side pod as well. So definitely some more performance coming after this race. But I am kind of curious as to where we are against the rest of the grid in certain areas. So we could, as always, take a look at these sliders, but these don't always really tell us too much. So we are going to take a quick look at the online database editor. And let's see what we can see in here. So we need, I think it's save 20. Yes, here we go, save 20. So let's take a look at the performance. And this is the current sort of arms race in terms of developments. You can see that Red Bull started strong and have been on a steady improvement across the last 3 rounds. Mercedes have had a bit of a weird dip and then shot back up again to second. Ferrari have been on a gradual improvement of their own. This is us in orange, McLaren. We had a big jump forward there, and then we've kind of stayed where we are for a couple of rounds, but we've got a massive spike in development about to drop for Monaco. Lotus, you can see, had a big drop in development here, and I'm not entirely sure what causes these drops, whether it's sacrificing a lot of performance in certain areas to gain a little bit somewhere else, or balance the car out a bit, maybe. Not entirely sure, but they had a big drop. But then look at that huge rebound the following round in Bahrain, and then they found a bit more performance with their latest round of developments as well. Aston, that is Force India, have kind of just gone backwards slightly from the most recent sort of big update here, but they are still a net positive, as are Sauber, looking pretty good. Then we've got AlphaTauri, that's Toro Rosso, Williams, and then you can see here Caterham and Marussia pretty much neck and neck in terms of their development. But let's see what's actually fitted to the grid, shall we? So Red Bull have got the 2 best cars, no surprise there. We've got Webber and Vettel. Interestingly enough, Webber's got the slightly better car. Then we have Alonso, then Hamilton and Rosberg, then Raikkonen, then Massa, and then we get to our drivers, Schumacher and Button. Then we've got Grosjean, and then we've got the 2 Force India drivers. I'm not sure which way round they are, but you can see very quickly how that performance drops off, and you can see how little the performance fitted to the car is on the lowest car compared to the top. We're talking 30%. That is a massive, massive margin, and it explains why the Mauritius are getting lapped twice, sometimes 3 times a Grand Prix. because they just do not have much performance. And Caterham aren't that much better. They're only a couple of percent better off. So again, it explains why they are so much slower. But even looking at Williams here, they're at 44%. Both of the Toro Rossos around the 45% mark. So they're down 15% in performance over their sister team. There are some huge gaps. And we are slowly improving. We've kind of split the two Lotus cars, and we are almost on terms with the second Ferrari of Massa. So we are slowly moving up. I'm very curious to see how much we step up when we go back to Monaco. Well, not Monaco. It'll be a while after Monaco. But I'm very curious to see what those new parts will bring in terms of actual on-car performance. It'll be interesting to see that. Evening Army, evening Dino, Daniel, and Mike. Good to see you guys. Hello to everyone else who is lurking in the chat as well. As always, please feel free to say hello. And if you've got any questions, ask away. Right. Let's get ourselves into this weekend then, shall we? So the target for Michael is 7th. We're going to go with that. And Jensen's is 9th. And let's head to Spain.
Thank you for joining us for the Spanish Grand Prix here in Barcelona. The first Grand Prix held here was won by Nigel Mansell after a wheel-to-wheel battle with Ayrton Senna. But who will follow in his footsteps this weekend?
Red Bull have outscored their rivals to be at the top of the Constructors' table right now. But there's still a long battle ahead for the Constructors' Championship.
Now let's get the weekend underway.
Alright, here we are then. Let's see. We didn't check the weather forecast, did we? Well, let's have a quick look at the overview. It's going to be fine through the first 2 days. A little bit cloudier on race day. Let's see. Ambient temperature today is going to be 21. I think it should be fine temperature-wise for the tyres. Not sure what our tyre wear is going to look like until we get to strategy. That will be an interesting kind of test of whether or not we can actually get away with soft medium around this circuit. We might have to go soft medium. So we're going to keep our options open. We're going to use a set of hards and then a set of mediums and then a set of softs through practice so that we carry across 2 sets of mediums, a set of hards, and then however many softs we have left after qualifying. Hopefully a couple of sets minimum. So let us start by checking over powertrain components, because we do need to keep an eye on Michael's car in particular. Take a look at the gearbox. Yeah. Okay. Moving over to Jensen. Still on his Spec 1 parts, I think, across the board. Yes, we are. Okay. And let's go with... It's normally 20 laps, I think, for a run around here. We're going to go with 20 laps. Just do the one run. Should hopefully be all we'll need on this session. And then we'll probably do, I don't know, maybe 15 laps on each of the remaining sessions. Car part knowledge is now pretty good. It's at 92%. So we haven't got to worry about that bringing our... preparation score down too much. What we do need to do is try and get the setups nailed as quickly as possible. It's quite a high downforce around here. We're going to start with a 9 and a 14.5. Let's go with a 6.4, and then I'm going to push this up a bit and push that up a little bit. I'm a little fuzzy trying to remember what kind of setups we need around here, so I might have this wrong. just going to try a few different things and see what happens. Let's give those a go as we hit the track for practice.
Sessions should be starting now.
Michael goes out. We've got, I think, Webber coming straight out behind us. And one of the Mercedes. That'll be Hamilton.
Radio check, please.
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Oh, it's Battle. It is Battle. I wasn't sure. I didn't see the number. I mistook his helmet. So we can scooch
we want
that
to generate some temperature for this outlet.
up because we don't really need that. Not for practice. There we go. Let's tell our drivers, as always, to avoid the high-risk curbs, just to keep the wear rate on the power engines down a bit, and we'll speed them up. How was my weekend? I spent most of my weekend trying to balance between resetting my sleep pattern and binge watching The Handmaid's Tale, which I've seen trailers for, you know, on and off for a while, and just never really paid much attention to it. You know, I knew Elizabeth Moss was in it, and that was about it. Didn't know anybody else in the cast, and I didn't know what it was about. I just saw the outfit on the trailer, and I just assumed it was some weird period drama thing, and I thought it's probably not for me. And then I just got, you know, I figured, what the hell? Let's at least take a look at it and just see what it is. So I read the bio on Disney Plus about it, and I'm like, you know what? I think I might give that a try. See if it is any good. And I'm hooked. I'm absolutely hooked. It's actually really, really good. Really good. I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure what I would think about it, but I can definitely recommend it. It's got a really good cast as well. Just lower the camera a little bit. It's a little high. If it will let me. It's trying to auto-configure itself back again. Yeah, okay. We'll leave it at that then. Ah, dear. F1 finally back this weekend. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? I'm looking forward to seeing if qualifying actually looks a little bit more like qualifying. Rather than the incessant sort of lifting and coasting, and we should see a lot less of that, hopefully, with the increase in energy harvesting from super clipping and with the reduction of the overall battery harvesting level. Means that drivers will theoretically not have to do anywhere near as much, or hopefully not any lift and coast at all. I don't think it'll quite work out that way, but
right then, we can take
nice.
a look now. Now we're through the last turn here.
Oh yeah, into the gravel
that's
goes
not quite what they
Grosjean.
would have wanted. And
He's
they might
very
want to
slow.
take a look at the floor of the car.
I thought we were going to
because that
see an
won't do it any
on-track
good.
collision for a second then. That was that was not a comfortable moment. Right, so we're 83% for Schumacher's. Definitely some work to do on that car. Let's see how Jensen likes his setup. Oh, it's even worse. 78%. Oh, we've got major work to do. Probably gone the wrong way with the roll bars, for starters. 15 laps. That's probably enough. Let's bring them both in this lap if we can. There we go. And let's take a peek under the hood. See what we need to reconfigure. There'll be quite a bit of work needed on both cars. Let's start with Michael's. Now, is that going to be a 6.4 going to a 7.3, or is it going to come back to a 5.5? Also, which way is that going to need to go? I'm going to wait until Jensen comes in. Take a look at his
Remember
car
the pit lane speed limiter.
and see if I can use the two as a
Stop in
reference
front of our
point
garage.
against each other. So the 7.3 is not horrible. Again, that could go either way. Got the rear wing angle correct by the look of it. Maybe. Given that we've got goods, and goods. At least we've got the braking stability about right. Although that's going to change dramatically. Which way do I go? Let's try going up to an 8.2. And let's push that up. And let's push that up. Like so. And then let's bring that up. That's too much. I'm going to need to bring this in a bit. Might work. So with that in mind, as we go over to Schumacher, let's go to a 7.3. Evening, Joe. And let's go there. Do I bring that back in? Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Yeah, I initially put in the wrong stream details, so rather than just deleting it and I just figured I'll leave it in there, set it for the correct date, which will be Wednesday, so that we can get the rest of that Grand Prix done before we head to the next round on Thursday, and then put this one in, which is what we should be doing today. Right, let's speed them up, and I will send them back out. Seems a bit of a waste to not use the hard tyres when we have them. It's stripped out the fuel load, hasn't it? Yep. There we go. So yeah, been sat here in the chair most of the weekend, sort of playing a bit of Banished on that screen and watching Handmaid's Tale on that screen, and that's been pretty much my weekend. Not done a huge amount else. I kind of get stuck into just... I'm a great mental procrastinator. I keep making all these plans of things that I need to get done, and then they just fizzle and never actually materialise. Really should try and do something about that. Looking at the difference in the lap times in our drivers, and it's almost imperceptible. Just 8 thousandths of a difference between them. Right, we've got some feedback from Michael and some good news, some bad news. Not sure how I need to fix this one. That's got to come down a bit, I think, and then maybe go. That's got to come down a bit more, I think. I wonder, is that actually going to be an 8.2 after we've made all these little tweaks? Possibly. And then bring that down to bring that back in. Not convinced. I might have overcooked it slightly. Let's go with that.
How's the
Oh, we
balance?
made Jensen's car worse as well. Oh my
Okay,
god.
understood.
79 down to 71. Just gone completely backwards. Too much front wing. Way too much front wing. And too much camber. Which means that needs to come right down as well. Yeah, I got this one very wrong. And then looks like that's going to be a 9-1. Let's give that a go. And that's it for us in this session. Not really much point sending them back out again for just literally just a few minutes of running. So we'll lock up the garage for this session and then send them out on medium tyres for FP2. See if those changes have done us a power of good or not. Alright, so free practice 2. We've got our new setups on the car. We're going to use medium tyres, running for 15 laps, maybe less. Depending on how bad the setups are. Might send them back out again for a second run in this session as well. Hopefully not.
Okay, that's green light.
Needs may facilitate that. So, we've got Schumacher on track, turning up to avoid curves. I can do that to Jensen. And we'll speed him.
Stay off the curbs.
Oh, awesome. There we go. Hit the wrong button. That's a bit better. So what did you guys get up to over the weekend? Anything exciting? Or did you just do what I did and just vegged? Oh, we did get a little bit of, I don't want to say news, but a little bit of sort of background information going on. An article I saw was talking about how BYD are starting to really focus on trying to put forward a case to be the 12th team in Formula One. For those of you who don't know, BYD are a Chinese firm. And look at that, we maxed the setup and we are 96 prep. That's not bad. Jensen didn't quite get full feedback, but it's only the front wing that's off. Everything else is good. I really want to take that down to a 7.5. It just feels a little wrong. Yes, we do. They both need to run again. So yeah, BYD are a Chinese car manufacturer, specifically an electric car manufacturer. In fact, they're the largest electric manufacturer in the world by quite some way. And they have been very, very sort of vocal in the past about exploring the opportunity of putting a bid forward into Formula One. I don't know if we're going to get much change in the regs if their bid is accepted, given that they are an electric car manufacturer. I think if plans to switch back to a sort of maybe a normally aspirated sort of V8, V10 engine with eco fuel and some battery element added in, then that might be the very antithesis of BYD, because they are, I think, exclusively electric vehicles. I don't think they do normal cars. I don't think they do hybrids. I think they just do electric cars. So if they sign and if they become that 12th team, that might be bad for the viewing spectacle of we're not going to get the change we want in the regs. That would be disappointing, to say the least. Oh man, look at that, we're still not there. But we are there. Okay, I'm going to send them both back out for another few laps. There we go. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I think if we do get what we want as a fan base, and that's a return to a V10 with sustainable fuels and a battery component.
Okay, understood.
Over what we've got right now, then I think that would be, as I say, the antithesis of BYD's target. But who knows? It just seems to me that if BYD do get accepted, probably means we're not going to get any major changes to the regs anytime soon. Oh, they do hybrids as well. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it'd be interesting. I think, however the new engine regs are put forward will determine, I think, how intensely they continue to pursue a bid in Formula One. I mean, there's massive scope to open up the market in China. There was actually a planned Chinese Grand Prix in the 90s that never actually took off. And now we have Shanghai, which is a great track, and it's a very popular event as well with the fan base, you know, with the locals as well as the international audience. So, yeah, I can see China's continued sort of presence on the F1 grid for quite some time, and I think the natural evolution of that would be a Chinese-backed team. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll end up buying out one of the existing teams. Who knows? But I mean, there aren't that many left now that are still what you would call an independent. We've got Williams. Don't really think you can call VCarb and Red Bull independents anymore. Given the global juggernaut of the business behind them in terms of Red Bull energy drinks and the partnership with Ford. Maybe Alpine. That would be an interesting switch. Haas, I don't think would sell to a Chinese team. Just purely on a political standpoint rather than anything else. We'll see what happens. We'll keep monitoring the situation, I suppose. Evening, yes. Good to see you. Vettel got sub 3 hours in the London Marathon. Oh no, F1's not going to go full electric. I don't think the fans want full electric. I think they would actively reject full electric. But there is a very much increased battery element to these current new regs, which makes sense to BYD. Yeah, if they're going to start scaling the battery back a bit, then maybe not so much. We'll see. Evening, Johnny. Right, we should be done now with both cars. Yes, we are. We can call Jensen in. There we go, we're at 100% on him. Excellent. I didn't realise Michael was out there as well. Let's call him in too. Thought he would already been back in. So that's it. Practice is done. We will sit out the next session and see if anyone decides to crash their car.
Sessions should be starting.
Minimize those so I don't accidentally send the cars out. And now we wait. We do have some more mods that we could take a look at while we're waiting as well. Let's see, where's my browser? There it is. Let's bring this back up. So if we go to overtake, we have a new concept Red Bull livery using the new 2026 model. This is sort of a blue and white with a little bit of purple on the side as well. There we go. It's kind of a hybrid of the current Red Bull and the current V-Carb, really. So there's that. We also have a V-Carb Miami livery, pink and white. We have a full pink Alpine. And again, using the FN26. So we've got some more alternate liveries now already for the new car model. We also have from Jody a Brabham Lights mod. So this one here is just the livery, I think, and maybe the driver suits as well. It's just the livery. On Jody's Patreon page, there is another version of this as well, which brings in helmets and alternate liveries and uniforms as well. We also have a 1991 database mod that's been put together as well. It is literally just the database. So drivers have been changed for the main teams. All the existing drivers are still in there as well, which I don't know how well that's going to run. And then what else do we have? I'm not sure what this is. This data notepad. Evening, Foamy. So yeah, we've had an update to the realistic racing mod as well, and this, let's see, now shows the correct harvesting limits for each track and session. The ERS management and overtake activation fixes for China have been implemented. A reduction to dirty air and some potential bug fixes and tweaks as well to help prevent crashing. So that's had a little bit of an update. Obviously, we're still waiting for the re-implementation of a database now for the 2026 season. But there are some new bits popping up, as I say, especially on here. We've got four if you count that as well. 4 new FN26 liveries for you to peruse at your leisure. And that is the end of practice. So, Raikkonen tops the final session ahead of Alonso and then 2 Red Bulls. And we are fully prepped and good to go. Next up, qualifying.
There's tension in the air today, so it must be time for qualifying.
Drivers need to get into Q3 if they want to make the top half of the grid. With only 10 slots available, it's a fight nobody wants to lose.
Now there's a driver we've been talking about quite a bit. Karun, how will they be feeling today?
They weren't as quick as I expected them to be in practice. They'll want to land better lap times than that today to earn a solid position on the starting grid.
So don't go anywhere, folks. It's nearly time for qualifying.
Okay, let's get into qualifying then, shall we? So, we're not going to put any new parts onto Schumacher powertrain-wise to this Grand Prix, and we're not going to change anything on Jensen's car. We're going to go straight to the track, and hopefully we can just do one single run and get through. We're not going to be the first ones
Green light.
out. So let's see who is. 45 degrees is the track temperature, so it's creeped up a little bit for qualifying. And let's see who's going to break cover first. Looks like it's going to be Paul di Resta. So, Fermi, have you ever found out anything about why your livery pack disappeared? Raikkonen out on the track as well now. Still just those two. Is it going to cool down a bit? Yes, it is. This might be when we go out in this little window here. Just to take the temperature off the tyres a little bit. Might be what the rest of the grid's thinking as well. Might get suddenly very busy when that bit of cloud cover breaks. Right, opening sectors are 22.5 for di Resta. Massa's making his way out now. Tickle in the back of your throat. Alonso and one of the Toro Rossos, Daniel Ricciardo, also hitting the track now. It'll be a nice, smooth, clean run here for di Resta. Raikkonen's going to have some cars to make his way through. We'll switch to him in a second. You should see the end of di Resta's lap. There we go. So he sets the target of a 1:13.6. And Raikkonen 3/10 up in the opening sector. Now we've got Esteban Gutierrez leaving the pits in his Sauber. First of the cars in the way is Fernando Alonso. He pulls over and gets out of the way. I think Massa's not going to be an issue, but Ricciardo may possibly get tripped up here. Ricciardo is able to cross the line without being pulled over. Raikkonen goes top by nearly 9/10 of a second. And looks like we're starting to see a little shift in the track temperature. So this is where we might start to see some more cars going out. Alonso is now the quickest in the opening sector. Send out Jensen. And Michael. And this is a very good looking lap here from Alonso. He's up by 0.6 over Massa. Massa goes second. He was 0.3 away. Ricciardo pretty much a second
Warm the
away.
tyres where you can.
And there you go. Alonso nearly 0.7 quicker than Massa. Got Maldonado out between our two drivers. Jensen about to get pulled over. No, not Jensen. Michael. Or is he? No, I don't think he is, because that's Ricciardo's the other car, and he's on an in-lap. So, yeah, that's Massa behind us on an in-lap. Then we've got Maldonado on a push, on a warm-up lap. And then behind him is Ricciardo on an in-lap. So, no issues traffic-wise there. Second, RB, Toro Rosso. Verne making his way out. Now Hulkenberg as well.
And drive straight out. The track will be clear.
You're good to open the lap.
Jensen is through as Webber's leaving the garage. And Hulkenberg, no, Di Resta coming out. Second time. We will just get through past Webber, but we've got some potential issues here. Yeah, a little bit of a hold up. We've got a yellow flag out there as well. Not sure who that was for. It wasn't Jensen. It was Maldonado, of course it was.
Here we go, heading
Evening,
into turn
Nexus.
1. And that's the moment they lose it. Not a mistake they'll want to make again.
Ah, they said no. Ah, that sucks. Any particular reason?
Delta negative at the end of the lap. Okay, look after the fuel on the way in.
So Schumacher goes to P3, half a second away. Button was a little bit further off. Had a good first sector and then lost a bit of time in the middle and final sectors. And Wayne. Checking on Webber. Oh, look at the parking lot here. As Webber just about gets through. I don't think he actually lost any time there. Let's see what his middle sector time looks like. More traffic as he goes past his teammate. 28.9. I don't think he lost any time at all. Getting through into turn 5 there.
Remember the pit lane speed limiter.
Oh, I see.
Stop in front of our garage.
All right, Hamilton just went purple in the middle sector. He's got a Caterham in front, though. This could hurt his final sector. Vettel just went very quick as well. And across the line. Hamilton goes second by 1,000th of a second. Vettel now goes top, but again, quite tight margins in the top three, separated by less than 700ths of a second. Rosberg out on a lap now as well, and Suttil is finally out. He's getting ready to start his lap. Still hoping we can just do that one run to get through. Rosberg is only good enough for P10. He's a second away. He matches Paul di Resta's time as Maldonado makes yet another mistake.
Now here we are tackling turn 3. And that won't help their chances. Well, hopefully not a sign of things to come.
Barely went over the line on that one. Raikkonen going for another run. I mean, I'm going to try and just sit this one out for the rest of the session. I think even if we don't stay where we are, I mean, we're still comfortably ahead of the bottom half of the grid in terms of performance. So I don't see any reason why we would need to, you know, put more laps on those tyres. Still good enough for P14. Raikkonen looking to find an improvement. Crosses the line and finds literally just, what, a fraction under 400ths of a second. Ricardo crosses the line. It doesn't find any improvement whatsoever. So, yeah, with the high track temperatures and the just the high degradation of this circuit as a general rule, I don't want to unnecessarily go out for no real gain of anything substantial. We're good enough to get through on that run, and then we can reuse these tyres in the next session and try and save a set for the Grand Prix weekend. Keep an eye on what everyone else is up to. Alonso having another run. And he's using another set of new tyres as well, which is completely unnecessary given that he's sitting where he is. Very strong in the middle sector. into the final 3 minutes. The warning has popped up for Grosjean that he is in danger. As we see Chilton and Peak both having a run. Alonso has gone top with that time by a couple of tenths, but that was a waste of a set of tyres, if you ask me. It's not going to improve his chances of getting through when he was already so high up anyway. He was never at risk. Chilton crosses the line and he finds a little bit of time, enough to jump up to 20th place. Peak moves up to 21st. But these guys are 4 seconds off the pace. They're not getting through. They're just burning tyres to gain maybe 1 place and still go out. So if we can't use the original mod files to create the cars, then what about just taking a single car model? Or adapting one of the new models to make it look a little bit more like it was 30 years ago. And then making it a default model across the board for all 11 teams, and then just applying the liveries, etc. to those. I think that's probably the best bet now, isn't it? Unless you sit and make every individual team by hand, which would be very time consuming, I'm guessing. Van der Gaard looking to improve. I don't think he's going to be able to find a second here. And Van der Gaard does not improve. Grosjean trying to stave off the threat of elimination here as Valtteri's trying to improve. Again, I don't think he's going to get through. Maldonado's already done. He's out. Grosjean jumps up to 7th. So Valtteri trying to displace Gutierrez. And he just about manages it by a 10th of a second. Gutierrez is bumped into the elimination zone along with Maldonado, Van der Gaard, Chilton, Peak and Jules Bianchi. They are the 6 cars that are eliminated here at the end of Q1. All right, into Q2. Wow, track temperature's gone up 46.9 degrees. This one's going to be a hot session all the way through, so let's just get out early, I suppose. Because we will probably have to do another run this time. Hulkenberg will be the first on track.
And we want to generate some temperature for this outlap.
Right, we've had a couple more cars come out as well. Ricardo and Di Resta and Massa. Starting off with tyres at 90%. They only did one run. They have definitely lost a fair bit of performance. Well, not necessarily performance, but certainly a lot of life just on that one round of laps. Don't know how competitive they're going to be for this run here.
Good gap in front.
Let's go.
Oh, nice. So we'll have shinier McLarens. So, Jensen is into the last corner now. And goes 1.3 seconds quicker than Hulkenberg. Schumacher is up by a couple of tenths at the moment. But loses a little bit of time in the final sector. And of course, these are just roundings rather than actual full tenths. So the gap in the end, just 78 thousandths of a second, less than 800ths of a second. Very even performance between our two. And we do look as though we are quicker than the Ferrari of Massa here. He pops up into third. He was running one tyres as well. Looks like those tyres have done one run as well. We've got Webber out there at the moment. He's also using a set of scrub tyres. And we look like we might be a little bit quicker than Webber as well, for that matter. We are. Nearly half a second quicker than Webber. That's encouraging.
Pit limiter. Okay, stop on the marks.
Oh, Alonso absolutely flying in that first sector. Is he using new tyres again? Nope, he's using scrubs. So Rosberg might pip us at the top here. But I don't think he'll be massively quicker than us. Yeah, just 0.04 of a second. Alonso, on the other hand, is going to be a good couple of tenths quicker easily. 0.4 quicker. Wow. Good lap. Very good lap. So we've got Hamilton, Grosjean on laps, or on warm-up laps at the moment. Is that Rosberg into the pits? No, Rosberg's on his in lap there. So Hamilton's literally just leaving the pit lane now. Vettel leaving the garage now as well. Let's prep another set of tyres. Just actually, how much time we've got left? 7 minutes. Not really time to go again after this run. Do I... Yeah, let's see if we can get a little bit of an improvement on these tyres. Again, we should hopefully have enough pace to get through. If it doesn't look like we're going to make up enough time, I can always... try again. I can abort the lap and call them in. Switch over to a new set of tyres.
Warm the tyres where you can.
Potentially a 92 model, that'd be interesting. Mansell's Triumph. So there's a good middle sector for Lewis. He should jump us here as well. He goes to second place. Okay, here's Jensen. See if we can find a little bit of extra time on this lap.
And drive straight out, track will be clean.
Who's winning this weekend?
Let's go.
Probably Mercedes. Sprint weekend. I am curious as to how the cars will do in a sprint. I would imagine not that much different, but there might be a chance of a Ferrari win in a sprint. No gain for Michael, but a small gain in the opening sector for Jensen. Raikkonen improves up to P8. I still think we've got enough performance in hand to not have to run new tyres. Looking at the cars that are below us, Bottas won't be troubling the top 10. Neither will Vernon and Ricciardo. The rest might. Hulkenberg probably won't. Webber will get up there. Yeah, no improvement.
You're P6. P6.
So Webber's about to move us down an extra slot.
Lap.
Oh, and a little lock-up at the end of the lap there. Track temperature is still high. We will have time for another run if we do decide to go out on those new tyres. I'd rather not. Rather try and carry as many set of softs through as possible. If only just to use 2 in the next session.
Pit lane speed limiter on.
So stopping your marks and then engine off.
A little bit of time before I need to make a decision. Not a massive amount of time, but hopefully enough for Ricciardo to complete his lap. And then make a judgment call based on Ricciardo's performance. Yes, yeah, we're still up a few tenths on our previous lap that we just did over Ricciardo's lap here. Yeah, we're gonna sit in the garage. This could end up being a catastrophic error, but yeah. I mean, Ricciardo found a huge improvement, and he's still a second slower than us. So I think we're probably safe. Sutil and De Resta are the two that are most likely to potentially cause us an issue. Because Vettel will improve above us. Raikkonen will probably improve above us. Grosjean might not. And then it's down to the 2 Force Indias. So let's keep an eye on Paul De Resta. First sector, while an improvement, is slow. Sutil is just coming up to the last couple of corners now to start his lap. Little split coming up with De Resta. Very slow. Yeah, De Resta's not getting through, and he's using very scrubbed tyres as well. Well, I say scrubbed. These tyres have already done a run. This is the second run on this set, so it's not like he's got a brand new set to slap on and improve that way. So let's switch our attention to Sutil. Did not improve in the opening sector. Potentially a little bit of traffic ahead. Rosberg, I think, or is it Hamilton? It's Hamilton, I think. Raikkonen has improved in his opening sector. Grosjean's done, so Grosjean is not improving. So Sutil can pull out a blistering lap. It will be Grosjean at risk, not us. And it's not quick enough in the middle sector to trouble our time. Might get a little uncomfortable for Grosjean here, though. Bottas improves to 1.1 seconds off the pace, but stays P12. And Sutil barely improves at all in the end. So it looks like Grosjean is safe. He is safe because everyone else has done their lap. Raikkonen on an absolute flyer goes only P2 though. Purple in the first, purple in the second. Personal best in the third sector. And it's still over a tenth away from Alonso's time. So Fernando Alonso looking good at his home Grand Prix here. Will it be a Spanish superlative at the top? As Vettel improves to P6. That is the end of Q2. Let's see what happens in Q3. Okay, into Q3. Let's see what the weather's looking like. Again, it's going to be hot all the way through this session. No cloud cover to ease the temperature on the track. Massa goes out straight away. We're going to ease off a moment. Just hold before we do and pop out. Evening, Clark. Wayne is here today. At least he was earlier. Unless he's disappeared again. Maybe he saw you coming and fled the chat. Hamilton heading out as well. Yeah, some of these old liveries are quite nice, aren't they? Right, Webber and Vettel both heading out. We're going to send our boys out now as well. Oh, looks like we're going to get Mass's way. Sorry, Felipe. Thought I'd given you enough time. Oh yeah, we ruined his first sector. 24. Ooh, dear. He lost about 2 seconds and change. Maybe not that much. Oh, it's a spin. It's a spin. Massa has had a horrible lap here. Is he going to abort or will he continue? He looks slow. I think he's aborting.
This could be difficult with traffic at the end of the lap.
Yeah, he's straight into the
You're good
pits.
to open the lap.
Okay, so cross the line for Jensen. Here comes Schumacher. We're going to have to punch our way past Hamilton, hopefully before turn one, but Schumacher might get held up in the same way that we held up Massa here. Not as bad. Yeah, it was 2 second look, 22.1, so it wasn't a great first sector for Lewis. Lost a second. Very, very close between Vettel and Webber. Bottom with a mighty middle sector. Here comes Webber across the line. He is a second and a half, or a tenth and a half off. Jensen goes second by 58 thousandths.
P2.
It's close. Here comes Schumacher. He's going to be in P4. 4 tenths away. Raikkonen now pops up ahead of Michael. So down to P5. But that's a very good first run from Jensen. Very good run indeed. Massa's back out on track. And Alonso's tucked up behind him. This could be interesting to see if this hurts Fernando. Because we've seen how much quicker he can be per lap. Not new tyres either. Yellow flag out there. That is Rosberg locking up into turn one at the start of his lap. So
Okay,
not a
so
great
heading
start
into
for
turn one
either
here.
Mercedes driver here.
Oh, and the car locks up. By that point, it was just too late.
And he may well abort. Let's see if he pulls over and lets the Ferraris through. Yeah, he's aborted. He's very slow. Alonso with a 22.0, getting a little bit of a slipstream from Massa down the main straight. It's only a tenth quicker than we've seen so far in the opening sector. Massa goes to fifth, Alonso goes to third. He's 2 thousandths of a second slower than Jensen. That's how good that first lap from Jensen was. Let's see if we can do something like that on the next run as well. Rosberg making his way back into the pit lane, having aborted his run. So the wild cards at the moment are the two Mercedes drivers who both had bad first laps. So let's see how much of an improvement they can find. I think there's probably room for Schumacher to improve. I don't know about Jensen. He might have already taken his best shot. Out goes Webber and Raikkonen, and they're going to pop out right in front of Vettel. As Grosjean makes his way back into the pits, there goes Vettel across the line to start his lap. This is going to be uncomfortable into turn 1. Just nearly pushing his teammate off the track there. 2 Ferraris into the pits as we leave the garage. Some nice spacing between our 2 drivers. Can we do something on this lap? It's not been an improved first sector for Vettel. No real shock there, but it's not that far off what he had done before. He's only down a couple of tenths, and he's made up for it in the middle sector. Mighty middle sector, 28.6. Here he comes around into the final turn. He goes purple in the final sector as well, and he does eke out a little bit more time. Less than 1/10 of a second, I think. It's just as well he didn't get a good first sector, otherwise I don't think that time would be beatable, at least not by us anyway. Maybe Alonso, if he gets a clean run. Webber's now starting his lap.
Good gap in front.
And he's not improved in the first sector as well. Slight delay getting past one of the 2 Ferraris. All right, here comes Jensen. Is that Hamilton pushing in front of us? I think it is. Yes, it is. 22-1. Jensen does not improve in the opening sector. Schumacher now into the opening chicane and now turn 3. Got a slow Lotus in front. This could be bad for Jensen. No, he's safely out of the way. No improvement in the middle sector though. Hamilton is matching us. So this could be very, very close between us and Hamilton here. Around the final corner and across the line for Lewis. Oh, and the Ferrari gets pulled over. Hamilton goes top by a tiny, tiny margin. Jensen cannot improve at all. Which Ferrari was it?
That's P3. Good
Oh, it was Alonso. Alonso, who had the
That's
chance
a decent lap.
to steal pole position, had to pull over across the line as Hamilton came through. And that might have just secured pole position for Hamilton. Yeah, Alonso's first sector is 4 seconds slower because he basically came to a standstill as he crossed the line. Oh, what a shame for him. Rosberg having a good run. Schumacher has failed to improve. It's a good middle sector for Rosberg as well. A couple of tenths quicker than Massa in front of him. There is Massa. Checker flag is out. Final turn. Massa improves to P6. Rosberg goes to P3. Bumps Jensen down to 4th. But everybody else, apart from Grosjean, has run. And Grosjean's middle sector is not good. Alonso. It was a good middle sector. He went purple in the final sector. It's a what could have been lap. He does not improve. He stays 0.02 of a second behind Jensen. As Grosjean crosses the line, he is done. That is your top 10 order. It is Hamilton from Vettel, Rosberg, Button, Alonso, Webber, Massa, Raikkonen, Schumacher, and Grosjean. That is your top 10. As Hamilton returns to the pits, having stuck it on pole position for the Spanish Grand Prix.
The stage is set here in Barcelona. 66 laps around a track that the drivers know inside and out.
Barcelona is a circuit with plenty of history under its belt. It was here, after all, that multiple world champion Max Verstappen secured his very first F1 victory back in 2016.
Barcelona is a tricky circuit to balance. The technical corners demand high downforce, but that means adding stress to tyres and potentially limiting race strategies if teams go too far. It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
Let's take a look at the amended grid. See if there are any penalties that need to be applied. No penalties. So it's as they qualified. This could be an interesting Grand Prix for Jensen. Chance to score some really good points. Fernando's definitely quicker than us, but we seem to have more pace than Webber and Massa, and both of the two Lotus cars. Not a great lap in qualifying for Schumacher, but I'd like to think that he will be a little bit quicker on race pace. Let's take a look at tyre strategies. Don't know what the temperature is like, but I think we could possibly do that if we can survive, if we can just survive a little bit better on these tyres. We will have this as our fallback, but potentially we could actually stretch the softs a little bit in the opening stint, depending on what track temperature is looking like. Actually, let's have a look. So yeah, it's going to be quite warm in this opening stint. It'll be a little bit cooler in the second stint, and then definitely cooler in the final stint. We might even go soft, medium. So that we can protect the softs on both stints. Let's look at doing that. And then we can finish up with a set of mediums when the track will hopefully be a little bit cooler. So we go with something like that. And then let's see if we can do the same with Schumacher. There we go. We're going to take some fuel out. Let's take 3 laps out. We are going to go aggressive off the line before we immediately slam those tyres into conservation mode. And this is a circuit where normally you can recover fuel at a pretty decent rate throughout the Grand Prix without needing to do fuel saving. We'll still need to do some, but a single VSC should set us well on the way, I think. So, starting P4 and P9, when we return, we will get the Spanish Grand Prix underway.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. Now it'll be interesting to see what the Alpine can achieve here.
Starting in the top 10 is good, but they'll need to play the race really well to not lose places.
This should certainly be a good one, folks. One of the oldest races on the Formula One calendar. This is the Spanish Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So Hamilton and Rosberg are in the lead. Vettel getting dropped down into fourth as Alonso trying to get through as well. Bottom has lost out a little bit. Schumacher's gained a place though. And the top four, all on mediums, to get back past Massa. Webber ahead of Schumacher. And under pressure from Raikkonen. Still trying to fight off tension there as Massa gets through on Jensen, so it's not been a great start. Let's cool these tyres right down. Track temperature is 46.6. I'm actually going to run the tyres in their lowest setting here. Let's balance the fuel out, but we'll keep the batteries on.
After the tyre.
Let's untick the battle assist now.
Key thing is to keep the tyre in good shape. Keep the tyre in good shape.
So Schumacher, having gained a place or two, is back down to P9 again. Jensen down into P6, has lost out a couple of places. But it's Vettel who's had a bit of a drop as well, down to P4. Hamilton still leads from pole position. He's 2 seconds clear of his teammate. Massa is trying to break away from Jensen. A little look from Schumacher on Webber. I think he's through. He is. Lovely move from Michael Schumacher there. We'll see a replay of that in a second.
Here we are going into turn 9. The gap opens up for them.
Very nice. Just diving
And
the
as a
inside
result,
into 7.
8th place is theirs.
So back into P8 then for Michael. Be able to increase the pace of the tyre soon. Need to get these temperatures down a little bit more first, if possible. Massa's on the verge of being dropped by Vettel, but Vettel has been dropped by Alonso, who's trying desperately to get his way past Rosberg. It's still about 2 seconds clear. Now let's up the tyre pace slightly.
You can start pushing.
As we've got a 1 second gap between Button and Raikkonen, so Michael might have a chance of making a move on Raikkonen at the start of the next lap. Trying desperately to hang on to the back of Massa here without overdoing it too much on the car. Hey, Wayne's back.
Okay, recharge on is good. Focus on recharge.
track is low.
Safety clerk's been standing on the lawn forlornly with a boombox over his head, waiting for you to say hello to him. Ooh, someone's locked up. It's Kimi Räikkönen. Oh, it's costing him. It's costing him badly. He's going to drop to the back of the grid here.
Right, we're down at turn 5. And there's the lockup. And
Oh, wow.
hopefully
See how
there's not too
wide
much damage to the
Schumacher
tyres.
and Webber went in the background to try and avoid hitting him. And Räikkönen is dropping all the way to the back of the grid. Well, that takes Räikkönen out of the equation. That will have done some serious damage to the tyres as well. As Webber gets ahead of Schumacher. Turn the battle assist back on now. Now that we're not pushing the battery. The Lotus looks really nice in black and gold. It looks better in the 2012 mod because it is literally just black and gold. The red branding is not there on the 2012 version. Grosjean makes the move on to tilt. Temperature has come down a bit, 4.2 degrees. Yeah, with the big project done, does that mean we'll start seeing a bit more of you again, Safety Clark? Webber's on a bit of a push at the moment as he goes past Jensen.
We think there's still opportunities here. .5. Focus on recharge.
Wow, Webber really is on a tear, isn't he? He's already swarming over the back of Massa. Looking to make the most of those soft tyres. So at the end of lap 6, Hamilton leads by 3 seconds over Alonso. He's 2 seconds clear of Rosberg as Gutierrez has a little mistake. Lock up at turn 10 at the end of the second sector.
Let's watch these cars as they head into turn 10. The wheels just lock up there, and they ended up their own passenger.
Where's Räikkönen? He must be carving his way through the field. He's already past Bianchi. Oh! Nearly a collision there as Gutierrez gets back on track. Räikkönen should start to carve his way through the back markers pretty convincingly. Webber's now through on Massa. We've got a problem for Jules Bianchi. And I think Peak will get outbraked here into turn 1. Räikkönen had a half look, but didn't feel confident enough. move is coming. And Alonso starting to close up on Hamilton. Vettel's past Rosberg as well. Here comes Raikkonen. Easily around the outside in the braking zone. We've got another yellow flag out there. Oh, and it's Gutierrez again at turn 10.
Yellow's ahead.
Let's see what
This
happens.
time it's a spin.
Now this was the Sauber. And the
So yeah, that is
controls
technically a turn
There's
11
not
spin.
much they can do about that now.
Oh, what a
As
difficult
for the team
start
back
to
in
the
the
race for
garage,
Gutierrez.
That was a tough moment.
2 mistakes in as many laps. Is Button starting to close in on Massa again? Yes, he is. Now that Webber's broken free. And Alonso really is pushing after Hamilton, isn't he? Gap stands at 1.5 seconds. Batteries are coming up nicely. We're actually going to push Jensen's button. Jensen's
How's the
battery
tyre?
button again. And Schumacher's as well. Let's see if we can get into DRS range on Massa here.
Use overtake.
Right, we've got the DRS, but we might be too far back to actually try and get him into turn 1. He's closed up quickly. He's closed up really quickly. Has a little look. Not quite able to get alongside in the braking zone, though.
Recharge on, please.
Let's
Use
apply
the
a little bit
overtake
more
button.
pressure again. We've got Schumacher into Button's DRS as well now.
Has DRS. Okay, push it.
I think Massa's responding. He's breaking away. Yeah, out of range.
And recharge on.
At some point, I might need to think about swapping our drivers over. Schumacher's target is 7th. Buttons is 9th. Hoping that we would have more pace than Massa,
DRS.
but it does not seem to be the case. Let's do a bit of saving with Schumacher while he's tucked up behind here. We'll just continue to protect Button's tyre temps while he closes, or tries to close back to Massa. And you see he was a second quicker than us on that last lap. The gap between the front two is very, very small now, just half a second, as Vettel is now 5 seconds behind. Temperature on the increase again, 25.3. I don't expect to see any one stops here. It is technically possible, a medium to hard. But I don't think we're going to see it. Even if someone does go on to hards, I think we're looking at 2 stops, maybe even 3 stops for some of these cars. Alonso just not able to stay close enough in the back half of the lap to get a run into turn 1. Dirty air certainly does seem to be playing a bit of a factor here. Rosberg has caught the back of Webber. Webber has caught the back of Rosberg, as I should say. But again, he might have the same issue as Alonso here, not able to punch his way through in that dirty air. Schumacher's battery is now pretty much full, so we'll stop the harvest. Okay, you see Alonso has slipped back to about a second away again. We'll be able to close up potentially a little bit here, but then can he stay close in this final sector to be able to make that run into turn 1? Almost out of DRS range. Might have lost it, and he did just get it. But again, it means he's not going to be close enough to have a run into turn 1. He's kind of stuck, suffering in that dirty air. Start doing a little bit of fuel saving for Jensen as well.
Suggest increased LICO.
And first into the pits, Kimi Raikkonen up to P17. Big gap back, up to Maldonado as the next car. Those tyres definitely look rough. Set of mediums going on. Decent stop. Brand new mediums. He still might just get out in front of Bianchi. Which again just goes to highlight the pace difference between the top and bottom of the grid. And there is Hamilton. So he's already close to lapping Bianchi, who is lapping 6 seconds slower, although he does have an issue. Holding firm in the low 119s at the moment. Can turn the batteries back on again.
Use overtake.
And now we've got Max Chilton and Esteban Gutierrez coming in. And Bianchi as well. So both Marussia's boxing on the same lap. Oh, it's a big problem for Chilton, but he gets away just in time as his teammate comes in. Much better stop for Bianchi, but that's going to put the Marussia's a lap down. And behind us as well, for that matter. There goes Jensen. And there's Schumacher. And that's Chilton going to get lapped in a second.
How's the tyre?
So about 3 seconds-ish behind Massa at the moment. We get the fuel saving down to about 3 kilos. And then we'll stop fuel saving for a bit. Track temperature is going to start to drop again soon. In fact, it's just starting to drop now. It's a 1:18.1 across the line. Took a nice little bit of time out of Felipe Massa that lap. Adrian Sutil's into the pits. And so is Nico Hulkenberg in the other Sauber. There he is. And Jean-Eric Byrne and Valtteri Bottas also boxing. So a lot of cars getting their first stops in. It's going to be another set of soft tyres going on for Adrian Sutil. And I think we've got our first hard tyre runner. Jean-Eric Verne. As Raikkonen sets the new fastest lap. Evening, mic on. Hulkenberg has also gone with hard tyres. Here comes Charles Pic.
Recharge button on.
And he comes out behind Jensen. Once again, Michael is going to be stuck a little bit further back, having to clear these cars straight away. As Maldonado's into the pits. Button now just a little bit behind Felipe Massa, 1.5 seconds or so. You get a very sneaky overtake from Gutierrez on Peak, following us through. Take those opportunities when they present themselves. Raikkonen trying to find his way past Van der Gaard. And Webber is into the pit. So first of the front runners in. As Jensen goes through.
We are ready for you.
Tyre change was smooth, but it's a bad release. It's a really bad release.
And what's that?
Only going to cost him against
A pit
Grosjean,
stop
though.
issue.
Webber is still into the final turn now. Ricciardo. And Ricciardo actually boxes. So, yeah, Webber's still going to come out in P9. As Hulkenberg runs a little bit wide on the exit of 9.
And they just can't keep on the track. And you really can't do
just a
that
little
too
bit
often
wide.
with these cars.
As Verne goes whizzing on through.
Suggest reduce a bit, lift and coast.
Now we're going to keep going.
Time management all good so far.
Gap's gone back up to 3 seconds. We're not able to kind of push our pace, but that's more down to strategy than temperature. I think. We'll have to be a bit more careful with the next set of tyres to give us a bit more wiggle room. That, or we change the strategy and go medium, medium. But I don't know if that's going to be quicker or not. No, it is actually going to be slower. Not by much, but a little bit. Van der Gaard is out right behind Massa. Hamilton still leads on lap 19. About 3 seconds clear of Alonso. Vettel is now onto the back of Alonso, and Rosberg 9 seconds further behind. So this is a 3-horse race between Hamilton, Alonso and Vettel. And I'm wondering if Rosberg's tyres are bad and he's looking after them, or if he's looking after them because he wants to go for a one-stop and go hard to the end. He's going to have to go another sort of 10 laps, really, on these tyres if he wants to try and pull off the one-stop. And Vettel is through on Fernando. Got him in turn 3. Brave move. Track temperature up to 46 degrees now. And still climbing. Jensen. And Vettel and Alonso are both in at the same time. Hard tyres going on for both of them. Still going to be a 2-stop though. I do not believe they can take those laps, 46 laps, those tyres. It's too far, surely. Oh dear, excuse me. So we might be looking at them going onto another set of mediums at the end, or maybe a set of softs. They might not have any softs left. Maybe a set. We are going to box next lap. Tyres at 35%. We can squeeze an extra lap out of those, I think.
Okay, we'll box this lap, stopping on the mark.
Ooh, yellow flag. Is this something a bit more serious? It is Rosberg. The big lockup.
Now we should be able to take a look.
Further, going to ruin
Look at the Mercedes.
Rosberg's strategy.
Nothing at this point. Very heavy on the brakes. Just unable to control the car by that point.
Not only does he lose a place to Massa and damage those tyres heavily, but he's now potentially going to have dirty air from the back of Massa's car, stopping those tyres from cooling down properly as well, which is further going to inflame the surface. Probably a lot less than a pair of drop bags. Rosberg has stayed out.
Okay, keep looking after the
Jensen
tyre.
will be in at the end of this lap. Michael's going to go one more lap and then he'll be in.
Make sure we get the pack back.
So now the question is, how long is Hamilton going to go before he stops? I don't think Rod Hull falling off his roof, trying to adjust his aerial, is the reason why he was suddenly made a mass switch to digital TV. And there we go, Hamilton's straight in. We just posed the question, when's he going to stop? Now is the answer, as Raikkonen is fighting and passing Ricciardo, so he's back to P13 now. Decent stop. Massa's in, as well as Jensen. Alonso sets the fastest lap. Nice tidy stop from the McLaren boys there, 2.4 seconds. Vettel's easily going to get through. Not even fighting it. No point. We're not in the hunt for a podium today. Top 6, I think, is a realistic target to try and aim for with one of our cars. I don't think we'll get them both there. Oh, Alonso is suffering behind Schumacher here. And Rosberg boxes. As does Michael. Ah, bad stop, bad stop. Damn.
And down in the pits. Oh, that's a slow one.
Ah, damn it. DeResta is going to get through. It's close. The DeResta still needs to stop, so it's not horrendously bad. It will help get those tyres up to tempo a little bit quicker as well. So Rosberg is only just in front. As we have to get past one of the Marussies again. That'll be Max Chilton, who is ignoring blue flags. Grosjean's in. Yankees car gets a little bit worse. Set of hard tyres for Grosjean. That still leaves him 42 laps to do on those tyres. That's an awful long way to go. And there is DeResta in and out of the way. 46.9 degrees on track right now.
Tyre temperatures are in a good window, well done. Use overtake.
See, we should be able to get some DRS off the back of at least one of these two Caterhams here.
We have a blue
The
flag.
inside. But we weren't far. We were ahead of the first one, but not too far behind the second one. And us coming through as a loud peak to get ahead of Van der Gaard briefly. But the chase for Rosberg is on. As the track temperature starting to cool again. So, past the first Caterham for Schumacher. Second one will get out of the way before the DRS zone as well, no doubt. He has done. As Jensen gets past Gutierrez. And then there's a 42.5-second gap to Maldonado. So yeah, those guys are going to get lapped multiple times. How far behind the leaders are we now? Let's have a look. 26 seconds off of Hamilton. 24 from Vettel. 21 from Alonso. About 3 seconds or so behind Rosberg. Done with the battery for a while again.
Your recharge on is good.
I'm talking about Maldonado. I've never heard him called Crash Dando before. He had two nicknames. He was Crashter Maldonado or Cashter Maldonado, depending on whether you were talking about his crashes or his pay to play. Right, the sun's back out, so the track temperature should start going back up again, and there it goes. Save a little bit of tyre wear.
Key thing is to keep the tyre in good shape. Keep the tyre in good shape.
Coming up on the halfway point of this Grand Prix, another few laps to go till we hit it, and we're down to 2.3 kilos, 2.5 kilos to save. So that's less than 2 laps that we need to find. As Rosberg sets a new fastest
Time
lap,
management looks okay.
1:14.9. We are just looking to keep these tyres healthy for a very long period if we can, so that our long run pace will be better. Rosberg has definitely stretched that gap up. 6.5 seconds now. 7th and 8th might be the best we can do. Massa's pace has been better. I didn't think we would necessarily be able to beat Rosberg, but I thought we might have a chance on Massa today, but he's just proved too quick. And Webber just absolutely blitzed his way up the order in that opening stint. Seems to calm down a little bit. Raikkonen's back up to 11th place now. Although he is a little out of sequence, he was one of the very first to stop. But having been behind these cars, 20-something laps ago, he's now lapping them. Again, another kind of clear indicator of just how big the pace difference is across the field. We take Bianchi out of the equation because of his issue and look at Chilton, who just got lapped. That's maybe a bit of fair. Let's look at Van der Gaard. Van der Gaard is lapping 3 and a bit seconds, nearly 3.5 seconds slower per lap at the moment compared to Hamilton. As Raikkonen goes flying past Van der Gaard and Chilton. No, Peak. Sorry, that was Peak. We just saw him overtake. Track back to 46.9 degrees. And Gutierrez in for his second stop. So this is a 3-stop then for Gutierrez by the look of it. Another set of softs and a bad stop. It has just been a shocker of an afternoon for him, hasn't it? Yankees now 2 laps down and 20 seconds behind his teammate. As Hamilton crosses the line to start lap 32. Rosberg is catching up to Massa little by little. I'm going to turn the tyres up a little bit more in a moment. As soon as the track temperature starts to dip again. There's a couple of minutes, I think. With a lap or two. Grosjean is lining up a move on Sutil. His tyres are definitely going to be feeling a little bit fresher at this point. He's not quite close enough to get alongside into turn 1 though. Rosberg dives up the inside of Jules Bianchi. He is within DRS range of Felipe Massa. Is he going to have a look at the end of the straight into turn 1? He might be close enough here. Let's see. It's Webber in front of them. Oh, a huge overspeed. Gets alongside in the braking zone, and that should be it now. He is through. Sutil is in. Now it's time to turn the tyres back up. Great move by Rosberg. Yeah, lovely bravery in the braking zone there. Jean-Eric Verne and Charles Pic both hitting the pit lane. Vern behind in the pits, but pretty much a lap ahead on track. Nice smooth stop. Peak being held to let Vern through.
How's the tyre?
Tyres are still in really good shape. So, as the track now starts to cool down again, and now that we turn the tyre pace up a little bit, can we start going after the cars in front again? Let's start to spend some battery again. We're just past the halfway point of the Grand Prix now. We still need to find a couple of kilos worth of fuel. That's a lap and a bit. A lap and a half, I think. Not had a safety car of any kind yet. Chilton's into the pits. And the traffic has not been kind to Webber. Rosberg is closing up, and he's brought Massa with him part of the way as well. Schumacher should clear. Yes, he does. Clears Chilton before Chilton gets out of the pits. Lap 35. Hamilton still leads. Vettel in second. Alonso has slipped back by 7 seconds now in third. Webber about 9.5 seconds further back in fourth. Then it's Rosberg, Massa, fifth and sixth. Seventh is Jensen, and he has closed the gap. A nice little chunk on that last lap, thanks to the battery usage. Schumacher about 4.5 seconds behind. We've got a nice, healthy margin over Romain Grosjean. Raikkonen up into P10 is now in the points. And just 5 seconds behind his teammate after that awful lockup at the start left him absolutely stuck adrift. And with a lot of slow cars to try and punch his way past, to try and close back up again. This button is now just 6 seconds behind. There is Schumacher in the background. And we've got an issue for Adrian Still. They're in 14th place, not really in the contention for points today, I don't think. And Valtteri is into the pits. Soft tyres, so Valtteri's stopping again. Let's see Hulkenberg. If he's got another set of hards, he might go to the end. No, that's soft, so he's stopping. No, mediums. Pretty sure he's going to stop again. That's a long way to go on mediums. 30 laps, effectively. Minus however many times he gets lapped. Speaking of lapping, there goes Jensen.
Recharge.
Gap to Massa down to 4.5 seconds, but we've burnt out our entire battery to get that close. And Now, he might not be able to stay close enough to continue to close. While the battery tops itself back up again. Closing in on the back of the Sauber. You can see everyone up to Maldonado has been lapped. Sutil is now lapped as well. So is Ricciardo. We have a yellow flag. It's Maldonado.
This is what happened. Now we're just proceeding through turn 4.
Teammate behind him.
Struggling with the car. Now they did leave it very late.
And Raikkonen into the pits. So, if he has hard tyres, he might try and go the distance here. Still a long way, but hard should make that. He has got a set of hard tyres, so this might be the final stop then for Kimi Raikkonen. Not a bad stop. Put him a lap down though. Hamilton, Vettel have both gone through. Alonso still behind though. There is Alonso. And having locked up, Maldonado is now in to change those tyres.
Use the tyre.
Right, let's see if we can now spend that little bit of tyre that we saved to try and potentially get ourselves a little undercut on Massa. Or if not an undercut, at least try and close the gap to him before he stops. What was a 3-horse race has become a bit of a 2-horse race. And Alonso now nearly 10 seconds adrift of Vettel.
Tyre feedback when you can.
The rest has just been lapped. So Grosjean is the last car on the lead lap now in P9. We still have 27 laps remaining. Hovering at around 4 seconds. Massa looks like he might have had a little bit of trouble with traffic there, trying to get past one of the two Toro Rossos. A bit of a slow lap last time round, lost a second.
Tyre management, everything's good.
And that's Webber into the pits, and Rosberg as well. So this is hard tyres for these two. It's hard tyres for Webber. And a decent stop. Hard tyres for Rosberg. And a decent stop. Massa also coming in. Hard tyres for him too. they'll be able to be a little bit more aggressive with their tyre usage because they've got a more durable compound than we're putting on. But the inherent pace might not be good compared to the medium, so still potentially in with a chance of maybe sneaking one of our cars past Massa.
Push now.
Let's get Jensen in on the next lap.
And we're boxed this lap.
So where is Massa? Yeah, he's still comfortably ahead of Grosjean. Right, in lap now for Jensen. Make sure we're across the line. There we are. Now we'll give the box instruction for the next lap. I have to say I've been impressed with Hamilton here today. I thought when Vettel started punching his way through, that was it. He was going to... same with Alonso. I thought that they would get through and just start to take control of this race. But Hamilton's led right from the off. He's surrendering the lead to Vettel now, but he's boxing earlier, so he'll be onto fresh tyres. Instead of hards to take it to the end. Oh, it's a bad stop, though. So Vettel stops next time round. That could... theoretically allow Vettel to actually get an overcut here. All right, into the pits for Jensen. .68, not the greatest stop. 2.4 was certainly better. Schumacher had a terrible first stop though. Hopefully we'll get a nice, clean, quick stop for him this time round. And we are going to need to start to do a little bit more fuel saving again. But we can keep our tyres at this pace setting now for a bit, potentially. And the battery's almost recovered as well.
More lift and coast.
And again, we're out comfortably ahead of Grosjean, who still needs to potentially stop again. About 4 seconds behind Massa again. And Schumacher's in. That will release Jean-Eric Verne. Oh, better stop, 2.43. So that's two decent 2.4 second stops. Don't know if they're going to be good enough for points. We'll find out in a moment. Jensen's coming through. There goes Jensen. And is that Maldonado? It is. Stay away from me, Maldonado. Do not get too close. Last thing I want is a guest role on the the Mandalorian. Right, Raikkonen gets past Di Resta. Again, needs to stop again. The gap is 20 seconds to Grosjean. I think Raikkonen will undercut Grosjean here.
Use overtake.
All right, we'll get some DRS here. And with some battery, this could be a good lap to try and close to Massa. There's Massa into turn 1 now. Not that far ahead, although there is a small matter of Charles Peak to get past. No, not Peak, Chilton. And there we go, we are through.
Temperature's okay.
No, wait, I think that was Bianchi. It was, that was Bianchi. Into the pits with Daniel Ricciardo. This will put him a lap down. Again. Yeah, it's not been a good Grand Prix for Bianchi. I mean, he's developed that issue early on, and it got worse, and his pace is awful as a result. Not quite sure why he's still out there. I mean, again, the AI just seems to refuse to box cars to retire them unless there is actually something that physically forces the car to stop. So you end up with these situations where they've got a really badly damaged car, or the engine or gearbox or whatever is causing them to be massively slow and way off the pace, and yet they keep going and keep going until the car physically falls apart. They don't know when to cut their losses. It's a bit of a shame that you get situations like that. Not enough active retirements. And there is some technical issue with the car. They just keep going until the car literally can't go any further. Right. Back to the usual splits. There we go. So we're about 2.5 seconds behind. We're closing in. There is Massa. Still need to find about 1 kilo of fuel, but we should find that pretty quickly. Gutierrez in for another stop. Vettel's still out there and staying out there. And Alonso as well. In fact, Vettel's just put a lap on Grosjean. As he's into turn 10 now.
Recharge on.
So there's now Schumacher is now the last car on the lead lap, I think. Or is that, no, that's Raikkonen who's been lapped, not Grosjean. Getting through some of the traffic pretty easily. Not going to be quite so easy here for Jensen. Byrne dives into the pits. Ricciardo being a little bit more stubborn. Now he gets out of the way. And so does Hulkenberg. So, clear air between us and Massa again, but the gap's gone back up slightly. Let's turn the tyres down a touch. In is Vettel. Soft tyres.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
Hamilton is through. Soft tyres for Alonso as well, and this now sets up an interesting three-way fight. Let's see what the gap is. 11 seconds to Hamilton, but soft tyres should potentially close that gap pretty quickly. I think Alonso is not going to be able to catch. He is 17 seconds behind, unless he is a multitude of seconds a lap faster. Because those tyres are going to have to fall away in terms of pace relatively quickly in comparison to the hards. Especially with the track temperature at a whopping 47.8 degrees right now, and still climbing. Ooh, it's a yellow flag. Who's that for?
There's a yellow flag now.
Oh, it was a crash? That's Ricciardo and Hulkenberg. Oh, that's Ricciardo's fault.
Yeah, I got hit.
Trying to turn in too much. He had so much space, and yet he was really crowding Hulkenberg on the inside there. That is definitely Ricciardo's, fault. I think he'll probably get away without getting a penalty, though. So, start of a timed lap for both Vettel and Alonso. Let's see what their pace is like at the end of this lap. Yeah, Hulkenberg has got the penalty. That doesn't feel fair to me at all. I think Ricciardo's to blame for that. All right, Grosjean is in. We've got another yellow flag out there.
Take care for any debris on this next section.
Another crash. Oh, it's not those two again, is it? No, it's Valtteri. Trying to put a lap on...
Contact.
trying to put a lap on one of the two Caterhams. I think that was Peak. Yeah, it was Peak. Another yellow flag. Now what? A lockup for Hulkenberg.
Let's take a closer look. Nico Hulkenberg there.
So he gets hit by Ricciardo,
so far,
gets a
and
penalty,
the car just locks,
and then he has a big lockup.
Mindful of the effect that had on the
Jesus Christ.
tyres.
The racing gods do not like Nico Hulkenberg today, do they? Bottas got penalised for that little bit of contact with Charles Pic. So that's probably about fair. I mean, I would put it down as a racing incident, probably, personally, but I can see why Valtteri got the penalty on that one. Hey, look at that. We are fuel neutral at last. 48.7 degrees is the track temperature right now.
Lift and coast.
15 laps to go. Gap to Massa about 3.3 seconds. Schumacher about 3.5 seconds further back. Tyres are in good shape. Fuel saving is done. Batteries are refilling. And the
Tyre
track
temperature management looking
is
very good.
starting to cool. So let's increase the tyre pace slightly.
We want good pace.
Into the pits comes Adrian Sutil. Has some minor issue with his powertrain, but we don't know what. So the medium's going on. Hamilton leads Vettel by 7 seconds. He's lapping over a second faster a lap. Alonso also lapping over a second faster a lap. He is 14 seconds, 13 and a half, 14 seconds behind with 14 laps to go. Needs more pace than that as Hulkenberg is in to serve his ridiculous penalty. And Button is putting a lap on Adrian Sutil right now, or trying to. Soft tyres on for Nico Hulkenberg. Maldonado is in as well. Soft tyres for him, and those two are going to go into war with each other in these closing laps, and that is probably not going to end well. There is Vettel coming through. He's got two cars with fresh soft tyres on right between him. Oh, and they're lapping a Lotus as well. Sorry, Caterham. Maldonado actually gets out of the way pretty safely and concisely there. Hulkenberg gets past Charles Pic, I'm guessing. Who goes tearing back through again? It's not Pic, it's Van der Gaard. Van der Gaard went steaming back through as Hulkenberg lifted to let himself be lapped. Oh, this is not good racing from Van der Gaard here. Because he did not really lift off to let Vettel through. And now he's back in front of Hulkenberg and needs to cede the position again. Oh, and he's in. That's probably why he was being a bit cheeky there, because he was pushing hard to box. Right, Alonso sets a new fastest lap, a 1:14.7. That's 1.6 seconds quicker than Hamilton. As we're coming up to the back of Charles Pic, is he about to stop as well?
We have a blue flag.
We'll get the DRS off him as he instantly pulls out of the way. Battery is almost full. Massa's still in range. There he is in turn one. And is that Chilton in between? No, it's Bianchi. How many laps is he down now? 4 laps down. Woo. Oh, someone's locked up. Is it Massa? No, it was a spin. We heard someone spin. Who was it?
And here we've got a yellow flag. Right, so this was the 4th corner. Oh no, that's not how to do it. Oh dearie me, you don't want to be doing that.
Spinning right in front of Schumacher.
Overtake available. Let's see what pace you can do.
How many seasons am I doing on this one? At least 3. Say the target is to try. We've got Schumacher out of retirement and on a 3-year contract, and the plan is to try and get him world title number 8 before he retires for good at the end of this contract. So at least 3 seasons, and if we can get another one for Jensen as well, that'd be nice.
Okay, we have blue flags.
Another yellow flag with 10 laps to go. What's it for? Oh, Valtteri.
So let's take a look at the replay. Now this was Valtteri Bottas. Things look fine here. And there goes the steering. But that's
Straight
just
into
the risk
the
you
gravel.
take. The later you leave it.
And that would beat him in reality, I think. And of course, the game doesn't allow for that. So, a 1:15.6 for Jensen, but Massa did a 1:15.9. Only took 0.3 of a second out of him. Hopefully we'll close that gap a bit better this time round, because we haven't got traffic in front now. I said there hadn't been a safety car and everyone in the back lost their mind. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just yellow flags aplenty in this last sort of 10 laps, isn't it? New fastest lap for Vettel. He's now just 2 seconds behind Hamilton, and was 2.2 seconds quicker on that last lap, almost. Alonso is now 7 seconds behind Hamilton, and he's also lapping over 2 seconds a lap quicker on that last lap. So, yeah, we may yet have a 3-way fight. Evening, Iberk. Let's get around the battery with Jensen. And
Recharge
Schumacher
on.
as well now.
Plenty to play for.
And the gap's back up to 2 seconds again. We just can't sustain the pace we need, unfortunately. All we can do now, though, is hope that Massa's tyres are in worse shape than ours, because we have been very gentle on our tyres in the early phase of this stint. And just maybe we can actually get on terms with him.
Okay, we don't want to lose too much time.
Hamilton's pace has picked up a little bit. Vettel's has eased off a little bit, and Alonso's has eased off as well. It's too much now, I think, for Alonso, but he's definitely secure in that podium spot. But there is still a chance that we might see a fight between Hamilton and Vettel here in the closing laps. We've got just under 7 laps to go now. Again, our pace has dropped off. So has Massa's. Good lap from Schumacher, though. .2 seconds across the line. The gap is getting tantalizingly close. Look at this, it's less than half a second. DRS is active. There's a Caterham in the way. And that, I think, is the only thing that saved Schumacher from a lunge. Saved Hamilton from a lunge there. Do I think another F1 management game will come again? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, there's plenty of management sims out there that are kind of like this, you know, some old, some not so old. Golden Lap is kind of like a much more pared back version of this in terms of the visuals, and it's unofficial and set in an older sort of time period, but it is still kind of a Formula One manager game, just an old school style one. You've also got Motorsport Manager, which isn't just Formula, you know, again, not official. It's not just like top tier single seater, but also lower levels and sports car racing as well. And Formula E, I think.
5 to go, including this one.
Possibly. I know they added that into the mobile game. I'm not sure if it was added into the desktop version.
We can use the pace now.
Is Vettel going to have a look? Is he going to have a look? Not quite. Right. Button is going for it. Going to have a sustained push if we want to get ahead of Massa.
Reduce a bit, lift and coast.
With everything. And then we can cool right down again.
There are opportunities ahead.
Right, we have to get close enough to have a lunge on this lap.
4 laps to go.
Be nice to get past.
Deep breath. You're going to be okay. Lift off end of straight.
Recharge on.
Go.
Overtake available.
Three laps including this one.
Ah, damn it, Jensen.
Clear air if you can.
Recharge on.
Use the overtake button.
To get such a good drive out of the final turn. That's the problem.
Recharge on.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. Yeah. It's always going to be tricky without having the inside line.
Still plenty of opportunities.
Use overtake. Two laps to go. You're doing well, mate. You're doing well.
This time, this time.
Cool the car.
Yes.
Suggest increased LICO. Okay, recharge on is good.
Schumacher's right there as well. Yes! Oh, Massa got pushed a little wide. He lost a huge amount of momentum there. Got to see that one again. Switch back to the inside line, made the lunge, and then Massa just wobbled on the exit. We were already clean through by that point, and he just wobbled, went a little wide. Maybe trying to correct a snap of oversteer.
This is the last lap. Last lap.
Recharge on.
So 6th and 7th. Target was 7th for Schumacher and 9th for Jensen. Hamilton wins. Alonso did get right on the back of them in the end, thanks to them fighting,
And
but
it's Hamilton.
wasn't able
Lewis
to actually
Hamilton with
pull the move
win
off.
today. Lewis Hamilton picks up the win.
But it is a podium separated by less than 2
Honestly,
seconds.
even their harshest critic would be hard-pressed to say that they didn't thoroughly deserve that win.
Yeah, very much deserved that win. He led pretty much the entire race there, except for pit stops. It would be 4th place and a very distant 4th place for Webber, 24.5 seconds back. Then Rosberg in P5. And P6 and 7 for Schumacher and Jensen. Yeah, the performance difference between our car and the top drivers in the top 3 teams is it's significant, very significant. But we will have new parts that we can put into manufacturing in just a couple of days. So while we won't have them for the next race, which is Monaco, I believe, we will potentially have them for the race after that. And hopefully a nice little step forward in terms of our performance.
And on our screens at the moment, the McLaren driver.
Yeah, and in the end, it was a finish in P6, which will bring in a few points.
Now, Karun, with that result in mind, what would they be feeling like down at McLaren?
They didn't do too badly today. A pretty respectable outcome as far as they'll be concerned. But they need to keep pushing. They can't afford to sit back.
And with that, our time in Barcelona is done.
For the next Grand Prix, make sure you join us at the renowned city circuit of Monaco. Prepare yourselves for one of the most legendary rounds of the season.
So, confirmation then of the final result. It is Hamilton taking the win ahead of Vettel and Alonso. Webber in 4th, Rosberg in 5th, then Schumacher in 6th ahead of Jensen 7th. Massa in 8th, Raikkonen 9th, and Grosjean in 10th. So it is the top 5 teams occupying all 10 of the top 10 spots. Then it is Force India in 11th and 12th, with De Resta ahead of Sutil. Ricciardo and Verne in the Toro Rossos, 13th and 14th. 15th for Valtteri in the Williams. 16th for Hulkenberg Sauber. 17th for Maldonado in the second Williams. And then Gutierrez in the second Sauber in 18th. And then it was Caterham Marussia. Bianchi would have been quicker than he was had he not had the issues with his engine. But it's Van der Gaard from Chilton, Peak, and Bianchi, who was 5 laps down at the end there. Let's take a look at the driver's standings. So, Vettel still leads. He's won 3 of the opening Grand Prix so far, the opening 5 rounds. 108 points for him. Webber in second with just the 1 win. He's on 76. Hamilton with his first win of the season, now just 3 points behind him on 73 as he moves past Fernando Alonso, who is yet to pick up a win this season. He dips down to 4th place now with 64 points. Rosberg in 5th has 56. Then it's Raikkonen with 32 points in 6th. Schumacher 7th with 30. Jensen up 1 to 8th place with 26. Level on points with Massa, who drops to 9th. Grosjean in 10th. Then just one other driver to have scored so far. It's De Resta. He sits in P11 ahead of teammate Sutil, who is the first of the non-scorers, followed by Verne, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg, Bottas. Gutierrez moving up to 17th over Charles Pic. Then Van der Gaard, Chilton, Bianchi, Maldonado and Bianchi. And of course Perez lost his drive once the season had technically got underway, but before the first race, which is why he's on the leaderboard here. In the constructor standings, 184 points now for Red Bull. Mercedes did outscore them by 5 today, thanks to that win from Lewis. So the gap stands at 55 points. Not insurmountable. Ferrari are on 90 points. I thought they would be doing better than they are. Massa not really chipping in massive amounts of points, though, yet this season. McLaren on 56 points now, 14 earned today. Excuse me. And then it's 42 points for Lotus, 4 points for Force India, and then 0 points for Toro Rosso from Sauber, Williams, Caterham, and Marussia. Let's take a look at the pit stops. We had 2 decent 2.4 second stops. Were they good enough? They were. We got 2nd and 3rd. It was a 2.3 for Ferrari's Alonso there. The Caterhams with 2 quick stops as well. Then Mercedes in 6th, Toro Rosso in 7th, 8th and 9th for Force India, and Lotus up there in 10th. No sign of the Red Bulls, which is interesting, and I think that's Mercedes' first points, isn't it? Let's take a look. Ferrari go top with 101 points. We are just behind in second, tied on 101 points, but with a slightly slower best stop. Red Bull, no points at all this weekend, sees them drop down into third place, still on 79 points, so they are 22 points adrift. Caterham move up into fourth place, overtaking Toro Rosso. 62 points for them, ahead of 48 for Toro Rosso. 35 for Williams, 34 for Force India. Lotus now on 23. Mercedes did have points in the previous round as well, so they're up to 18 points now, ahead of Sauber and Marussia. And there you see a summary of our stops. A terrible first stop for Schumacher. Stuck wheel nut, adding an extra second onto his stop there. Not a great second stop for Jensen at 2.68, but those first two stop, or that first stop and the second stop for Schumacher, absolutely on the money. So, yeah, we are right back in the thick of it in this challenge. Both drivers achieving their sponsor targets, neither getting a contract bonus because they didn't win the Grand Prix. So that's 1.375 mil to add to the bank. Let's head back and see what the board thought. And I think, if memory serves, they were actually in attendance today. So 7th and 8th, or 6th and 7th, sorry. I think they're still going to be miserable, and with them in attendance, that could be bad. That could be very bad. Alright, so we're 11 days away from Monaco. We're about to get some new upgrades ready to go into development, but let's check in with the board. Let's just see, were they actually in attendance? They were. Oh dear. It was a shame the team performed below expectation, and this has reduced our confidence in your leadership. They didn't perform below, they performed slightly above my expectation. We are potentially going to get fired through no fault of our own, because the expectation of winning the championship is a little unrealistic given the pace of the car this year. Oh dear. Right, so we lost a front wing and we lost an underfloor just to general wear and tear. Not ideal, but that's okay. We have spares to cover those. Let's see what the board's confidence is actually like. It's at medium, so it has dipped from very high. Yeah, to medium. That's a shame there. Another disappointed. It says reduced confidence loss, but it's not actually a reduced confidence loss. It's worse. unless that's bugged, in which case I'll take it. What else have we got in the inbox? Paddy asking why we're not doing any research yet. Because we're not. Let's take a look then at fixing the cars. There we go. And we need to do the underfloor. There we go. Let's see, car development. Just 2 days to go until 3 slots open up. Let's advance time and get those parts straight into development, into manufacturing, shall we? Oh, it's the end of the month as well. So, we've got a new ATR period. That's worked out quite nicely. Let's see. Mick has gained 3 points in smoothness, a point in defending, and 2 points in reactions. Gary Paffett's gained a point in control. Magnussen's gained a point in adaptability, and we have lots of other rookies who aren't listed. Let's have a look. So, no idea what happened to Stoffel or Ben Barnacote or Andrew Tang. It's not going to give us their information. What about our main drivers? Any improvement there? Schumacher Senior does not improve, nor does Jensen. Didn't expect them to, if to be fair. Right, there we go. Underfloor. Chassis. And side pods. All ready to go. Oh, there we go. Gary Paffett's lost some performance. So, he gained a point in control. And then immediately lost it again, along with a point in braking, a point in smoothness, a point in adaptability, a point in well, no point in overtaking there, but defending and reactions also lost a point. So yeah, not great for Gary, but I mean he's getting on a bit, isn't he? 31 years old, tail end of his career. He's training on developing the car rather than himself, so not surprising. Right, click, click, click. Let's go to manufacturing. 7 days. We'll get one of these ready in time for Monaco. Build 4. Actually, let's just build 2. Because we might go ahead and go straight into building a Mark 3 underfloor. Let's take a look at the new Mark 4 chassis. No, Mark 3 chassis. Let's go to manufacturing. There we go. And that is worth a little bit. And we'll build 2 of those. And side pods was the other one, wasn't it? So the new side pod is worth quite a bit of performance, so we will go ahead and make 4 of those, because we won't be working on more of those for a little while we focus on other areas of the car. So let's take a look then at what else we could do. Another suspension would be nice, now that we've got some hours to spend as well. Oh man, this is pretty messed up. Initial upgrade that was provided has done some serious damage to our upgrade path. Oh man, look how much low speed performance loss there is. Recover this, if we can at all. This is really bad. Even if I were to strip the weight off, I don't think we can actually improve our suspension for the rest of the year now. That's not good. So I think that's it for suspensions. Take a look at the rear wing. Man, it's not a great situation to be in here. That's a lot just to try and get minimal improvements. I don't think we can really significantly improve the car this year, which is a real shock. Oh, we can get some good gains on the underfloor here. Right, let's go with that. And again, we're going to look to try and build the expertise up for next season. So we'll do another intense build. Curious as to how that front wing's going to turn out. Hopefully that'll be helpful. Let's take a look at chassis now that we've got that new mark on. So I can do that, and that then gets us gaining across every area. And if I do that, I don't know if that's an improvement on the brand new one. That's only an improvement on the one that's fitted. So, which is the point with the underfloor as well. Oh God, I'm an idiot. I'm plotting in based on the current spec. I've used all my hours. I'm going to have to be a little cheeky here. Otherwise, we've wasted the entire development cycle here. So, blah, blah. Yeah, we know. And we know. So, we want... Let's build 3, because we'll have a spare then. But we'll still look at maybe getting another mark out soon. Side pods, we want 4 of those. And then, what was the other one? It was the new underfloor, wasn't it? And let's get 3 of those as well. There we go. And we'll just have to hold off, I think. So instead, let's look at what the reg changes are. It's 5% across every aspect of every part. We'll hold off on that as well for now. So let's wait and see what the front wing does. Let's get those new parts built and on the car, and then we can try and figure out how development goes from there. But the suspension does look like that's going to be a major problem, trying to fix the issue with that. A major problem. Let's take a look at our facilities. That's a 10 mil upgrade, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Too much for what we have. Boardroom upgrade is a month away. Yeah, we might actually need that. Okay, so that's pretty much all we can get done that way. Let's get the pit crew training in. Fatigue. Let's see. Let's go to cumulative. Let's strip this out and let's see where we are at the start of the month. Pretty much at 0, which is good. So we'll go with a full day of gym training to get us started for the first week. Yeah, we'll be able to get a much more balanced car next year, I hope. But we do have a car that is all out of kilter at the moment. And correcting those issues for next year is going to be very tricky indeed. What's going to make it trickier is that we're under a lot of pressure from the board to achieve unachievable results as well, which really does not help. It's like they're actively trying to sabotage my leadership by demanding results that are just unobtainable. So that's our training plotted in for the month of May. Yes, May. So that will give us a nice little bit of extra improvement on our attributes. Keep the car building just ticking over nicely. We'll also shave just a tiny bit of time off the pit stop. Bring the chance of a mistake down below 12%. So yeah, not too bad. Sam Michael needs to be replaced, I think. It's going to cost a lot, though, to break that contract. Let's have a look at who else is available. Jonathan Wheatley with a monster contract, 5 years remaining and over 10 mil to break that. Franz Tost is available, but it's not Franz Tost. Alan Permain is available. Let's scout him. Let's take a look at the rest of our staff as well. See if there's maybe somewhere where we could improve next season. Where is our... So we've got Tim Goss. He's down on 80. There's a lot of people rated higher. Let's take a look at Nicholas Hennell. And let's take a look at our technical chief situation. Do I want to try and tempt away Adrian Newey, bring him back to McLaren? No, I can't. He's recently started a contract. Might be somebody we could think about at some point in the future. James Allison's contract is big. And plus, technically, he should be leaving Lotus partway through the season and being replaced with Nick Chester. If we were to play this in reality, due to his wife passing away. and then he would resurface, what, in 18 months' time at Ferrari. I mean, we've got Paddy Lowe. Paddy Lowe's pretty good, as you can see. But he's not Nui levels of good. We'll keep an eye on Nui, and then maybe in a month or two, we might actually be able to try and offer him a contract. I mean, breaking the bank to bring him in, but it would be worth it, wouldn't it? Right, let's have a look. Very young Christian Horner in the picture there. So Rebel have got a new front wing, saying it's one of the best on the grid, and they're now working on another new front wing. Okay, so front wing is very much what they're focusing on. Manisha Cottonborn, I forgot about Manisha. They're 8th in the constructors, 17th and 15th in the drivers. Their objective is to finish with a strong midfield championship position. Yeah, that might be a bit tricky. I mean, they have yet to score a point, and a strong midfield position would be, well, at the moment, 4 points. But yeah, they would need to be basically, if they want a strong midfield position, they need to be around Force India and ideally finishing ahead of Toro Rosso. Some big points already for the big teams. Advancing time a little bit more. Low stock on the front wings. We've still got a spare. Nick De Vries, he's not showing up in my rookie stuff. Did we? Weird, lost Ben's name there, Ben Barnacote. Did we ever actually find Nick De Vries? No, he's missing. There he is. Oh, I was looking at N-I, not N-Y. We put him on commercial stuff because of his marketability. Yes, we did. Okay. So we did get him doing something. I'm going to need to think about maybe improving the length of some of these contracts as well going forward. What am I missing? What did I not tick off? Oh yeah, the no research projects email. There we go. All right, we have scouting results. Alan Permain. Negative mentality at the moment. Let's compare him to Sam Michael, and that's a huge difference in every area. Aptitude is 8 points higher, which immediately means our staff cap rises from 80 to 88. Leadership is, 11 points higher. Processes is 15 points higher. Training is 6 points better off as well. Maybe. Yeah, we're not getting Wheaters. Andy Stevens has locked it for a long time. That's a bit weird trying to poach Peter Sauber from Sauber. Paul James, Curtis Stones, Randeep Singh. Rather have somebody with an actual headshot. Steve Nielsen's been doing a good job at Caterham. I just want to see what the rest of the competition kind of looks like. Let's scout Ron. We don't have to make a decision yet. And I want to scout Adrian Newey as well. There we go. So, we do have another scout report to take a look at. That's Nicholas Hennell. Oh, wow. He's got a 100 in drag reduction. Everything else is in the 80s, but let's take a look. So he's up a couple of points in cooling over Tim Goss. He's up 12 points in DRS delta. Same and high speed. He's up 3 points medium, 8 points low, 18 points in drag reduction. Airflow's up 2, and sensitivity's up 14. How much are we paying Tim Goss? Less than $1 million. How much would this guy want? Probably quite a lot. How much can I move the needle with a decent signing bonus? Quite a bit. Let's do it. Let's offer him a contract. All right. That would be a significant upgrade if we can get him in. And probably a lot cheaper than I was expecting as well. Let me take a look at the race engineer situation. Phil Prue, Tom Stallard. I'm kind of happy to keep with those two for now. Unless there's a superstar engineer out there. Let's have a quick gander. Rob Smedley is going to be tied up for quite some time. GP is as well. Kieran Pilbeam, Andreas Stella, Simon Rennie is potentially available. Let's bookmark him. Marcus Dudley. Yeah, we'll just take a look at those guys and see when we get our next set of scouting back. 3 days to Monaco. That's the first of the new parts built. But they won't be going on the car for Monaco. They'll be going on for the next race, which is Canada. So, race preview, strategy prep. Here we go. It's going to be cold, but not expecting rain. Let's take a look at the actual weather forecast. It doesn't look cold to me at 21 degrees. This will be tomorrow's Grand Prix. See, Schumacher currently holds the lap record at a 1:15.0. That might well get beaten. We shall see. But that is it for tonight. When we come back tomorrow, we'll be doing round 6 as we head to Monte Carlo. No new parts, but we are definitely under the pressure, under the cosh a little bit from the board. They decided to come along. I should have said no. Stupidly said yes. They were not happy. And now they've lost a little bit of our confidence in our leadership. So we need to arrest that decline as quickly as we can. Because there's no way we're going to achieve our long-term target or even our season objective, which are both to finish first in the constructors. It's just not going to happen this year. We're too much of a gulf in performance. So we need to try and at least get them to the point where they are maybe satisfied with race results. Or we will eventually just chip away at the confidence so much that we do risk potentially losing our job at the end of the season. This is going to be a tough challenge because the upgrade path on the car right now is not looking very clear at all. With a couple of parts, the suspension in particular is going to be a massive problem for us going forward. So we'll have to see how we can rebalance that to a point where we can actually improve without massively taking away from other parts of that suspension. Yeah, a lot of head scratching going on, but drivers seem to be doing quite well so far with the car this year. And we have made an approach for a much better head of aero, and hopefully he'll say yes. We might even find out in tomorrow's stream. So yeah, that's all for this evening. If you've enjoyed tonight's race and you haven't already done so, then a thumbs up would be much appreciated. If you're on mobile, then give me some hype as well. That would be fantastic. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed, and click on the bell for notifications on live stream start times. And spread the series around with your friends. Let's get some fresh eyeballs here on the channel, on the series. We'll be back usual time tomorrow, 8 PM. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager